I'm not like what you would call somebody that knows.
You're not a comic enthusiast.
Yes. But I heard people saying that he was stealing jokes, but I always thought it was because he was just so fucking good at everything.
Yeah.
He might have took bits from other things, but tell me, has there ever been a person that can just run off anything and make it funny like he could?
No, I mean, he's definitely unique in his approach and his style. And I think what was shown in the interview is that, I would rub up against comedians all the time, and maybe things would seep in, and then it would come out in my act. He says, but when it was something that was called out to me, and it was kind of after it was called out, it seemed overt. I would pay the comedian, and then he said I would pay the comedian, and I wouldn't use his shit. You know what I mean? So it was like he wasn't
trying to do it
to get
he's
by.
Just in passing, he'd be like, see a comedian, because they go to the night clubs.
Exactly.
And a guy would mention something, and he probably wouldn't even think about it. Later, he probably would just sit at home and be like, oh my God, this is kind of funny, but it was already a different version of it. He wasn't trying to be mean about it. And I also think people were just trying, like I said, calling him out because how extremely talented he was.
Yeah.
I was just watching what you recommended with Jamie about Eddie Murphy and
Comedians in Cars.
And
with Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. I watched about half of it. I didn't get through all of it because I got sidetracked. But they brought up him, and they're like just how talented he was.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they just paid homage to him. I
That's
mean,
nice.
and these two guys are icons of the
Oh,
boom.
yeah, they're legends.
I mean, but again, even though they're legends in different aspects of comedy, neither one of them can't just spurt out like what he did.
Yeah, and you're right. And here's the thing. It all comes from somewhere, right? A lot of times you'll see people, they develop their own voice and everything, but if you ask Eddie Murphy, it's Richard Pryor. If you ask, Seinfeld, I think it might have been Bill Cosby or something like that. There's always some type of derivative that brings these people forward. Yeah. That where they're gleaning off something else, and if they're really really talented, they won't manage to find their own.
You know
voice.
what I thought was really cool about that episode when Jerry was walking up to Eddie's house.
Holy shit! Did you see that house?
Right.
I'm sorry. Did I steal your thunder?
You did, but I wasn't going there. I was going somewhere else. But I saw that fucking house, and I'm like. The kid that has 9 kids from 8 different women. Yeah. I don't know. I know he has
got a lot of kids.
He has a lot of kids. But I'm like, God damn, motherfucker.
Dude,
but,
whoever thinks his career is not doing well, just that 10 seconds they showed his house.
A trailer pop this week. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it looks kind of interesting.
What, Eddie Murphy movie?
Yeah, with Wesley Snipes in it.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, well, we'll check it out. Look it up. I forget what it said. Eddie Murphy trailer. This week trailer. But I forget what it was called. But there was a card that they had from 1979 or something, 78, where they were both on a card sheet. I guess comedians get card sheets about the nights when they're on. They're performing after who. Yeah. And it had both their names before they were really big. It's just fucking awesome. Like that little
really
shit's
cool.
like little nuggets. Like, dude, imagine being in that fucking room. Oh man.
Dude,
2 legends.
Yeah.
And before they were legends.
Yeah. And you know what, man? It's like I like the fact that he copped to that regret. He had that when he said, I regret that I let that muscle atrophy.
Yeah. I did. That's like right after where I cut off. But he didn't close the door on possibly doing it again.
No, but if you think about it, everybody's salivating over him doing stand-up. He hasn't done stand-up in almost 30 years.
Yeah. And the times were different, and he's different now. So
no internet.
Yeah.
You can't go into a comedy club in Des Moines and not expect someone to record that shit and put it up on the internet, and then you got to question whether you're ever going to do that joke again. Yeah. Because it might have already run its course.
Well, can you even do that joke again? Like, I guess he could.
Know.
Like, I mean, Raw and Delirious were like, I guess he could still technically say the jokes again. I don't know if it would be as
funny. He cannot say them jokes again.
I know, that's what I mean. Like this, that's what I mean. Nowadays, with everybody just posting shit and
yeah.
But although I don't see too many people posting, again, I don't run in those circles about comedians, jokes, and comedy clubs. usually people, I mean, you like to believe people aren't fucking doing that shit, but they are.
What, stealing jokes?
Or just video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally, man. Yeah. Dave Chappelle, man, he's got a hardcore. I saw an interview with him. He's got a hard. Should we start the show?
Yeah, we're doing a show. I just thought we're having a conversation. Yeah, let's start the show.
We'll continue. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
And we are absent young Jamie or Sir Jamie.
Yeah, he couldn't make it tonight. We don't know quite why, but...
Yeah, I think he's still doing that side hustle, burning the candle at both ends, for sure.
Selling that crack on the corner.
Well, you got to get by. Being the pimp. It's so funny. I just got a notification on my computer.
About Jamie?
It's like he heard us talking because I responded to him.
What did Sir Jamie want?
He just said, yeah, working. I said, is everything all right? He just said, yeah, working. So yeah, he's working his tail off.
He's hustling, man. That boy, I mean, I started work at 5:30 this morning, but I've been done for a couple hours. That boy probably left his house at 5:30 and is still fucking going.
Yeah, he's putting 15, 16-hour days under his belt.
Fuck that, dude. I get it. What you guys were talking about last week about getting to that money, but me personally, I want the money, but I can't do that all the time. It would just drain me. God bless my man.
Oh yeah,
and I know he wants the money. He is ambitious, and I'm ambitious, but I'm just not there. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of hours to be away from home.
Well, he's looking at the light being a pinhole or maybe a tunnel hole.
No, and I get it. Maybe I'll have a pinhole, but I'm just not built that way. I can't. I'm not built for 14-hour days.
Yeah,
I can do it once in a while, but my man does it.
Yeah. He's doing
every day almost.
Doing it on long term for sure. Well, has been doing it for
But you know what's crazy? He still has enough time to catch up on our shows.
That is true. That is true. And Jamie is sorely missed, of course, but he's getting it done. He's hustling for sure.
Yeah, he's doing the right things. Absolutely.
So we were talking, and no doubt I'll leave the preamble in, our warm up in, but we were talking about Eddie Murphy, old school comedy. Eddie Murphy in particular. You said he had this new trailer for Dolomite Is My Name.
That's it. I didn't see the trailer. I caught like 2 minutes, 2 seconds of it because I had to.
I haven't watched the trailer yet. I've been laxed, I guess. But I'm looking at the picture on my
John,
laptop. Wait.
You missed something?
I know,
one person with how much fucking time?
I get all the time in the world.
Oh, you do, brother. Your kids are like, practically going to college.
Yeah.
It's
they're self-sufficient for sure.
Yeah,
and by design.
And by design, get in my face.
Yeah, come on.
See that shiny light on the wall? Go over there.
Well, it's something as simple as we're all working hard.
Yeah.
It's their summer and they get their time, but it's, hey, take the trash out.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Get those dishes out of the sink, put them in the dishwasher.
When you get to past an age of, I guess, when you're moving into the teenage years, it happened with Aiden. It's going to happen with my boys and my little girl.
Yeah.
At some point, when they get past like 11 or 12, it's kind of like they don't even want to spend time with you that much anyway. Sometimes they do. You take it in and you get it. But most part, they want to be left alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not like it's 8, 9 years old when they're like, Daddy, come with me here. Daddy.
Sure.
There just comes a point, and it's part of our relationship, father, son.
Just
and
the way
it doesn't
goes.
come back around until maybe you're 25.
Yeah. You're older. You got all the time in the world, and then you're asking them, hey, you want to hang out, pal? Dad, I'm busy, man. It's the cats in the cradle thing, man.
Good point.
But I did. I'm still being asked from time to time to hang out, to play. We did a weekend with no screens, so we did a lot of Monopoly and everything.
Oh, and I would crush you in Monopoly.
You probably would, man.
That's like my game.
I don't think you'd crush Jack, though.
I don't know.
We'll do.
I'm pretty fucking good.
Yo, let's do this, man. We'll do brunch over at our house.
Wait, one quick question.
Yeah.
You're allowed trades and all that. Some people don't play that shit. I do.
Yeah. Of course, you're allowed to trade. You're allowed to trade.
Some people,
but no bullshit rules. Like no, like whoever plays One-Eyed Jacks and Suicide Kings and shit. They're not poker players. They're shit talkers.
Oh yeah.
So no crazy rules.
I don't do crazy rules. I do regular rules.
Yeah.
Pass go.
Yep.
$200. You have to go around a full time. You can't buy right off the bit.
Any of the stuff that cost you on Community Chest, do you put that money in the
goes in the middle, dude.
Exactly. That's right.
And we always put a $500 in the middle.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You started out.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It's not supposed to be like that, but everybody...
No, but I played like that when I was a kid, man.
Fuck yeah, man. You gotta get the game going, because if you don't... Let's be honest. Monopoly can last a fucking very long time.
Oh, dude, we did 3.5 hours.
That's
man.
why you gotta put some money in that pot to sweeten the shit.
Yeah.
So it starts moving, because $75 of fucking time, or happen to land on pay $200 or your income tax thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't get you there.
And that pot can bring you back.
Yes.
It can bring you back from death's door.
It has. But I don't really get to death's door. I kind of like never get to that point.
Are you like a rush for hotels guy?
It depends on where I'm at.
Okay. So say you get, I don't know, you get Park Place. You got most of the Ventnor Avenue, like the sweet spot. You know that road that's on Park Place?
Yeah, it's right Pennsylvania.
Yes,
North
exactly.
Carolina. Yep.
Say you're getting that corner over by.
See, I wouldn't want that corner.
What corner would you want?
I wouldn't even want it. Well, not a corner. How about a row? My favorite row is right before free parking. The purples, and because it's not
purples and orange, right?
It's not too expensive to put hotels up, but it's but it still gets a good payday, a decent payday.
Yeah,
and everybody for some odd reason fucks up in that area because they're always trying to go for free parking.
Yeah. No, that's a good
so,
point.
I mean, it's always my move to do that. Or, especially if I get the lighter colors, so I get the light, though.
If you get like Ventnor and Marvin Gardens.
It's big paydays, I get it. But it's more money to more money to build hotels. So it takes longer to get there.
What's the shit brown one? It's like Panties. I forget what it is. It's right past Boardwalk Park Place.
On the other side.
When you round.
It's Mediterranean.
It's like two properties.
It's Mediterranean.
They're literally brown.
It's like purple.
No, it's like brown.
You sure?
It's like
a darker purple.
No, it's like Skid Row, skid marks brown.
All right, whatever.
But it's like it's nothing to put properties on it, but you don't get shit for it. It's like, so what if you get a color set?
It can fuck you up in the beginning. If somebody gets those two in the beginning, you can pop hotels up, like say hypothetically the first 4 times going around, and they get it early.
Yeah.
I mean, because not everybody else is going to have hotels, and that's like $200, $400 a pop every time you land on it. If you get it early enough in the game. That's only a strategy if you happen to get lucky to get those two within the first 3 rounds, because you automatically, with what you have in the bank, probably have enough to put hotels up.
Probably.
Right. So,
but it is the most worthless of all the properties.
Absolutely. But if you get it early, it can really benefit you on the cash flow side.
I hear you.
Because nobody else is going to have hotels up, and you don't want to land on a $400 mark.
Yeah.
When you only have, I forget how much you start out with.
Dude, I love stacking up railroads, man.
You love the $200 buy when they land on
one? No, I like stacking up, like owning them. Whereas, like, I get, you get 1, you get 2, it doubles your.
Yeah, it's up to $200.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If you get all 4, it's $200 versus $400.
It's $400.
$400.
It just chips away at people.
It does. It's annoying.
It's demoralizing, man.
But you know what? In the end of
get in your head.
At the end of the game, it's quite nice when you got Boardwalk and Park Place, Pennsylvania Avenue, and you land on, what is it, Reading? Reading. You're like, thank God there's hotels everywhere. I'll pay that $400. You want it? Here you go.
Yeah, it's fun times.
Monopoly's. I'm sorry. I grew up. Monopoly's by far my favorite game of all time.
Favorite board game.
Favorite board game.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty
tough to
good.
Find a different one.
And you got to I don't do themes, man. You got to go classic.
I liked Risk. Not Risk. What was it? Risk. No.
Risk. Risk was the one with.
No, I like Risk on the computer. The board game's too hard because too many fucking pieces.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces.
I'm not thinking of that.
Did you ever play
Life. Game of Life.
Life is good. What was the one with the bubble? No, not
the puncher in the middle.
Yeah, was that Sorry?
Yes, Sorry.
Sorry, that was good. Well, I'm trying to think what else was good. Like really, like where you play to play. Monopoly, man. Monopoly's the winner.
That's it. I can't think of any other board game. No, man.
Yeah. Do you remember a game called Mousetrap?
Yes.
Wasn't that a great game?
That was an awesome game. For the first time you ever played it.
Yeah.
After that, it's annoying. Do I have to build this whole fucking thing?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if I said this on the show before, but my, let's just say it's my dad's dad, so my grandfather.
Right.
We'd go to his house in Northeast Philadelphia. In there, right? No, I'm good. We'd go in his house in Northeast, and then his house was a Philadelphia row home. And long, narrow, had a basement that was looked like it was carved out of rock, like all nasty. And my dad's grandfather, my dad's father, my grandfather, him and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's father lived in this row home with her kids. They had every game that you could imagine, every board game that you could ever think of. I'm talking about 200 games easily.
Are you serious?
Stacked up in the basement, and you'd go over there as a kid. I'm talking.
I know one that can beat it, or not beat it. Maybe get there. Sorry,
What?
I didn't mean.
No, go ahead.
Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, Trivial Pursuit's good.
It's good. Not there, but it's the only thing I can get close enough. Go back to your story.
So anyway, I was there 4, 5, 6 years old till my grandfather passed away, and his girlfriend's father had diabetes and lost both his legs, like at the thigh. And so he tooled around in a wheelchair. So we'd go over. Everybody was cool. But if you wanted to play games, you had to go into the basement to get the games in the basement. I'm talking about Toys R Us, Kitty City games all over the place. But you used to have to walk past the guy who lost his legs, my grandfather's girlfriend's dad, guy who's lost his legs. You had to walk past his prosthetic legs that were stood up on the side of the wall, just being stored in a basement. They had pants on them, they had a belt on them, and they had shoes and socks on them.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, it scared the fuck out of me, dude. Are you kidding me? I'd go down. Dude, like, yeah, John, go down the basement, get whatever you want.
They're all giggling the whole time.
Dude, I'm going down there. Dude, it's this goddamn creepy basement in this old Philly row home.
And you were like 8 years old?
Not even, dude. I'm talking like 6 at the most. And I'm going past these fucking legs. And I'd run past them. I'd grab whatever game I could get my hand on, slide it out from the stack, and fly back up the steps thinking those goddamn legs are going to run right up my back. And then, there's time to time. We had older brothers and sisters and older cousins and stuff. You'd go down, they'd shut that door and lean their shoulder against it. You're like, let me out! It's going to get me! But anyway, it's... well, that was a real segue.
Yeah, we went long on that one.
We did. You want to get into the box office?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Are we even doing that? Or do we want to just keep shooting the shit?
So let's do box office.
All right.
I'm in.
Box office.
I'm curious to, one.
Yeah. Well, last week's
Hobbs and Shaw?
It's Hobbs and Shaw. This is for the weekend of August 9th through the 11th. Fast and Furious presents, not Fast and Furious.
What is Rotten Tomato meter on that thing?
Ooh, man, I'm sure it's got to be a 99% at least, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Hobbs and Shaw, Rotten Tomato meter, 66%.
It's not too bad.
It's not even Rotten Tomato.
Somebody was talking
89% audience.
Somebody was talking about Vin Diesel the other day on the radio. I forget, maybe it was Preston Steve. Who knows?
Yeah.
And they're like, it's funny how like Vin Diesel all thought he was this great guy because he made Fast and Furious 1, decided to branch out, left, did other things. and then he realized he couldn't fucking act, so he came back to make these fucking movies.
I mean, really, what's the range on Vin Diesel? What's he going to play? He's going to play, what, a courtroom attorney?
Yeah.
What? He's going to play sensitive doctor with great bedside manner? Come on, man.
I am Groot.
You know what, dude? We're making fun of him. That motherfucker made bank for saying the same goddamn thing.
I'm sure he did, but you know what's funny?
It's like a half hour worth of work.
But it's just because of the show. He had one movie where he was a badass driver, and that's going to be his whole fucking life story.
Yeah.
He's been in other movies. Like, I'll give him Riddick is good.
Both Riddick movies good. What's it?
He did 3 of them.
Was there 3? Oh, there was 3. That's right.
Yeah.
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black
Was the very first one.
I thought it was just Riddick.
No.
Riddick was the last one. I'm sorry. Chronicles of Riddick was the second one. Was my favorite. Love
that was the best one.
By far the best.
Carl Urban.
And did you know what was just on the offbeat? You mentioned Carl Urban. What was the first thing he ever did? And he did multiple appearances on this.
Carl Urban?
Yeah.
He had a show on. I think it was him that had a show where his partner was a android.
No, go farther back.
Oh, I don't know.
You're gonna shit your pants.
Damn it! Now you got me thinking.
Multiple appearances on this show.
So a series,
a major series. It was actually a spinoff of another series.
Carl Urban on a major series. I'm at a loss.
It wasn't on it, but he was a guest character. A couple
recurring character.
Xena!
Shut up! Really?
Yeah, I saw it today. I saw it.
No shit.
I was the same way as you. I was like, get the fuck out of here. He was on Xena. There was like a couple, like one episode. He was this person. He was like the extra guy.
Dude, that show was big.
Dude, it was. It was from Hercules and Xena.
Yeah. Like, I didn't realize. I thought it was like.
I was like, oh my God, an actor actually came out.
Yeah, a serious actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like him.
So Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw did $25 million for its second week in the box office. Did about a 57.9% dip, but that's to be expected. But over $300 million total, 2 weeks.
It'll be fine. It's fucked, man. It's The Rock and I always forget his name.
Jason Statham.
Dude, come on.
In
an action film,
you know I'll see it, man.
That you didn't even need to have Fast and Furious on the logo there.
Yeah.
That would have been watchable for me.
Yeah.
Because I like both their characters in every movie because they play the same fucking character in every movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just awesome. Talk
about lack of range.
The whole fight scene going through is like Jason Statham's like beating up like 20 guys. The Rock's like, poof, one guy goes down.
It's true. This is, I think, before my time, but only slightly. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Was that something you read when you were a kid?
Nope. I don't even know what that is.
So I think it's based on a series of books or a book called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And then they wound up turning it into a horror film. Anyway,
never heard of it.
I never heard of it. It's getting some decent reviews.
What's the deal with this? Why are we talking about it?
Because it's second in the box office.
Okay.
And, didn't do... and it's getting, about a 70% as far as...
I've learned one thing about horror
flicks. It looks creepy, man.
I learned one thing about horror flicks.
What?
Is they just have a cult following, man. It's just like geek flicks for us. Those horror flick people that like horror flicks, my stepson's one of them.
Yeah.
He's watched American Horror Story, all the seasons, like probably 100 times.
Oh, really? That's
Dude,
pretty...
Aiden loves the show.
That's pretty sophisticated, man.
But what I'm saying is, when you're into that genre, man, they'll literally go and see any horror flick that's out.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny you say that, because Noah started watching a couple of horror flicks. He saw The Conjuring and something else. But... damn, I was about to burp right into the mic.
Oh.
But anyway, he's starting to gravitate the same way.
I had something to say to you.
Go ahead.
Is there a Beetlejuice 2 trailer out there?
I didn't see one. I mean, do you think it would be something that Michael Keaton would do? Or do you think it would be something
I thought he was doing Beetlejuice 2. You just made me remind me of that one. I don't know why it popped in my, because I guess we're talking about horror flicks and you think about Beetlejuice. I thought there was a Beetlejuice 2 trailer I just recently
Nothing. I just looked up on the Great Googly Moogly. I didn't see anything. They're definitely doing the movie.
Maybe that's what it was.
It's going to be directed by Tim Burton.
He did the last one.
Yeah, I know.
They're all
Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder confirms.
See? I thought there was a trailer, but I guess maybe somebody just made a spoof trailer off of it.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. There's nothing I've seen so far that signifies some type of trailer, or indicates some type of trailer.
I'm in though.
It was a fun movie, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm in. I mean, especially with the way these guys, these directors, and Tim Burton's no joke, they've been able to tie things together a lot better in the last couple of years. Make it more moving on from the past to the present. They've been able to successfully make that transition of age, not age of the movies, but the age we're in.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Make them relevant for the time.
Yes, and make it believable of the switch.
Yeah. He just did Dumbo, Tim Burton.
And I heard that was pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
It didn't do great. I mean, compared to what they were expecting it to do, it didn't do great at the box office.
Dumbo, come on, man.
Dude, I was stoked about it when I saw the first trailer.
I was never a big fan of Dumbo. I don't care about an elephant that's fucking
such a sweet story.
Yeah, why don't we make a live-action Bambi movie and fucking go? Come on. I like Bambi, too. It's a sweet movie. But out of Disney movies is not my top 5. Maybe not even top 10.
It's got all the elements. But, parents dead. Big-eyed hero. Yeah. I'm not a big... I don't think I've ever rewatched Bambi.
Exactly.
The first time.
And I've never rewatched Dumbo. So we're on the same boat.
I've rewatched Dumbo.
I don't care about a fucking...
You heartless monster. You're a heartless monster, Nick.
I am. I fucking hate it.
All right. So Lion King's toppled to third in the box office. It has done $473 million, and it did about $20 million last weekend. Dora and the Lost City of Gold. That's the live action Dora.
I wonder how that went.
$17 million at the box office. $49 million budget. So it's got some work to do domestically to make up that money.
It'd probably be fine.
And then fifth and finally for this week's box office report, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Have you seen that yet?
No, I want to. Although I hear Brad Pitt beats up Bruce Lee.
Spoiler alert!
I don't give a shit.
No, it's been out more than a week. So
it's been out like 2 weeks, dude.
It's been out a third.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, all right.
There's no way he's going to beat Bruce Lee if there was actual fight between Brad Pitt.
We can spoil it, right? Because it's been out more than 3 weeks. So spoilers on this commentary on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I did see it. And it's a fun-ass scene. Him and Brad Pitt going toe-to-toe. They show Bruce Lee as this kind of pontificating kung fu know-it-all. Like he's
arrogant. I heard he comes off arrogant.
Yeah, and
his daughter's actually upset about it.
Oh yeah. But he's actually posturing in front of some of the stuntmen. One of them being Brad Pitt and some of the crew and stuff like that as they're hanging out in the back lot behind, right outside of the studio. And so Brad Pitt hears him going on and on and on and on. He's like, blah, 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 blah. Like basically gives him a bunch of shit. Like, shut the fuck up. You're just a windbag now. And that's the line where they show in the trailer where he's like, you don't understand. If my hands are registered as lethal weapons, and if I were to kill you with my hands, I would go to jail. And Brad Pitt's like, of course you'd go to jail. It's called manslaughter. Everybody would go to jail. And it's like, it's written really well in that respect. But if you are a diehard Bruce Lee fan and you know Bruce Lee, like everybody has known him throughout these past, 40, 50 years, you're like, yeah, you're making Bruce Lee out to be a little bit of a clownish caricature.
Because he wasn't.
But he absolutely wasn't. But to go into your brain and go, that would be kind of funny to see if he was. and then see how this character, who you automatically fall in love with.
Bruce Lee fan, so I'm kind of be like,
well, it's touchy. But if you think about it, like there's a move where Bruce Lee goes to do this jumping, spinning back kick type thing, and Bruce Lee's probably like 130 pounds. I mean, in real life.
Yeah,
in real life,
he wasn't a big dude.
Yeah. And then you got Brad Pitt's character who's trained at fighting, real legit tough guy.
Right.
Like not like a real legit tough guy. He doesn't have somebody stand in for him or anything like that. So he goes when Bruce Lee does that to him, he just grabs him in midair because you take all the inertia out once you you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Grabs him in midair and then whips him around and throws him into a car door. Right? And so you're like, damn. And the way it's choreographed, it looks believable. Like it looks like it doesn't look choreographed. They did a good job.
No, I'm not saying they didn't do a great job. I'm sure they did.
But
it's just my feelings about
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee's the man, dude. He created his own style.
Yeah.
I mean, there hasn't been anybody to do that in, I don't know, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
He created.
He's a legit badass.
Yeah, you know what I mean. A UFC fighting is based off of the main style that he created, Qui-Gon Do or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't ever say that stuff. But
you want to say Qui-Gon Jinn?
Yeah, I did. But a little known fact about him: he actually did get on a lot of fights on movie sets.
Did he?
And when he was in Hong Kong and shit, because it was just fucked up.
Yeah. People trying to
I don't know if he won them all. I'm assuming he won probably the majority of them.
Dude, I just saw footage of him doing his 1-inch punch. Saw footage of him playing ping pong with a pair of nunchucks.
Was he really?
Oh my God! Yeah,
I knew the 1-inch punch. I mean, it's fantastic when you see him do it.
Yeah,
because he gets he'll even put a big guy up, and you're just like, there's no way he's moving that fucking guy.
Yeah,
like that. And he just goes, boosh, and you're just like,
and he sits him down.
Hey!
Yeah,
talking about a legit superhero. What?
Yeah. Dude, and you're right. And he's so yes. Do I think they took extreme liberties in that scene? 1,000%. But
I have to watch,
it was entertaining.
I'll have to watch the whole context. And I probably won't watch it until it comes out in a couple months.
I mean, it'll be out in like 2 months.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think all the reviews I've heard of the movie is most people like it. But it kind of it's too much. He went too Quentin Tarantino. I mean, it was just too drug out.
Yeah, it was a little. I would have shortened it for sure, but entertaining. So that's it for the box office. In the news, it didn't track a whole lot, but the one thing that did catch my eye, it seems like all the events are kind of like in limbo.
Miley Cyrus is divorcing Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth.
That was right in the news, man. You got to make because she was seen hooking up with some chick out in France or some shit like that.
She was cheating on him with a girl?
Yeah, she's into women.
That's fine, just as long as your guy knows and is cool with it.
And it was apparently, and you're gonna think I'm like the weird's biggest pussy for knowing this. Brody Jenner,
yes,
his wife, it was the woman.
Oh man!
And you know how I know that? It's because my wife watches The Hills. So
that's right. I got some shadowy memories of The Bachelor, The Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh my God!
It was another one that Cindy was watching and you do get sucked in.
And you know what? These things are so staged.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. How do you get sucked in when they know from the beginning who they want to win?
Yeah.
But you do.
You know what, though? It's keeping networks alive.
Oh, it fucking is. Reality TV is the only thing keeping networks alive.
Yep. And they're cheap to produce.
Oh, yeah. Because you don't have to pay the high cost of the actors or actresses?
Yeah. They're going, yeah, HBO, keep doing Game of Thrones. Go ahead.
Spend $15 million an episode.
Yeah.
I got $200,000 right here. Because this Joe Schmo asshole wouldn't be on TV.
Exactly. Everybody's looking to be the next Kardashian.
Oh, God. Talk about a family that has no skill, no intelligence, no integrity.
They have a skill. They know how to make money.
I'll give her this, though. She made big butts cool.
If you cannot lie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I won't do that again.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. But she did. I mean,
that's all collagen injection.
Oh, I know what's in there. And now there's all those girls that do like make their own big butts, all muscular. You ever see that? The Mexican girl.
The weather girl?
Oh, God, man. That fucking ridiculous. Ass. And there's just all these workout videos that she does. I went on her Instagram. There was like 30 million workout videos of her ass. Not that I'm complaining. I watched almost every one of them. But Jesus. Shit.
She turns sideways and it looks like it looks like I don't even know what it looks like. It just looks like a mirror.
It's like, what the fuck, man? That lady, I mean, she's the hottest weather girl. I'll give her that.
Yeah. And that was the one we talked about her.
Yeah, the video gamer fucking dumped her to go to the world contest of whatever.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
you lost and you're not pumping that ass anymore.
Meanwhile, there's like a 16-year-old kid who's just won
from Pottstown
$3 million
from Pottstown.
Yeah,
right up the fucking road.
Yeah. Won $3 million for a video game tournament.
Apparently, he's badass. I asked another kid about him, and they're like, "Yeah, that guy's fucking unbelievable." Because they named the gamer tag, and I'm like,
"Dude." So Jack, with his VR headset, he has it's called Beat Saber. Have you seen this game? Beat Saber. All right.
I thought it meant like beat. I was going somewhere else.
Remember Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
You see all the things come down the frets?
Yeah, I never did it, but yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. The colors come down. You're supposed to hit the buttons to correspond with the colors.
What's his face did it in the movie. What the fuck was it? Couples Retreat.
Yes.
It's awesome scene.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's not a great movie, but it's
that great scene. I like that scene. He's just like yelling out.
Yeah. So think of that, only now you're standing up. You're in a full VR environment, and blocks are dropping down and coming at you. And when they come at you, they have arrows on them, and you got to have a blue lightsaber and a red lightsaber, and you got to make sure you hit the right box with the right color saber.
Also, will hit you.
No, it'll go by you. You got to hit it to the beat, hit it the right box with the right saber in the right direction. And they'll come up, down, side, and then they'll throw obstacles at you.
You know how much a Star Wars fan I am?
Dude, we're going to play.
That sounds like a lot of fucking work, dude.
Jack was playing.
The VR shit is for real, though. I tried it.
Yeah.
Dude, that was badass.
Legit, right?
You're not going to feel anything? Because, we were all talking, if you could feel, we'd back in the corner.
Not now.
We'd be in the corner.
Yeah, we'd have
with your machine over there.
Haptic bodysuit with flashlight attachment.
But that was really impressive when I tried it on. The only thing is, I thought it was awesome, but I felt kind of stupid because I know people were like looking at me. And I'm like, that's why I got off it so quick. If you notice, I was only on it for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, I loved it.
You gotta let go, brother.
You gotta let go of that. But I was like, shit, I gotta take this off. I know, I look like a moron. That's all I kept thinking in my head while playing the game. I'm like, I look like an idiot.
Dude, Jack, Nick, they're coming at him so fast, and the beats are bumping, and it's like happening all at once. And Jack is doing wrist moves and combos and all this stuff to where I'm giggling because it looks like something I'm seeing out of a special effect.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't be moving that fast and that accurately.
Yeah.
And I can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way I'd be able to do that. I had a real grip with reality on where I am, because you never think you're getting older.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember I was that kid when I was that age.
I know, right?
And I'm not even close to that now.
You know when I stopped being interested in video games, like legit interested, I always played them here and there. You guys always get on me. Is when I first started seeing Shannon and a 6-year-old was kicking the shit out of me in video games. because I didn't get a chance to play that much, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and my ego, you know me, I'm a little competitive.
Beer pong.
I'm competitive. Yes, and if I'm not good at something, I won't mind working at it. And I did try when I got the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked.
We had fun a couple times with that.
We did as much as I could. He still kicked the shit out of me every fucking time.
Yeah.
And my ego took a big bruise, a lot of bruises there. So I gave up and I lost the interest because I came to the realization is kids like Aiden, Jack, Noah, have hours upon hours every day.
Of course.
Especially in the summer to play these fucking games.
Yeah.
We might have 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to compete with that.
No.
My ego can't handle that.
No, it's like The Rock. The Rock gets up at 4:30 every morning. He survives on like
kiwi,
tequila, and 2 hours of sleep, and he just goes and goes and goes. He's gonna outwork you every time.
Yes.
Meaning you'll never be The Rock because he'll always be up early or he'll always be doing more.
And it's his job to look like The Rock.
Yes.
Our job is go to work, do other things. I don't have time to barely get home in time for dinner, let alone go fucking work out for 6 hours.
Yeah. If your job was to be the Nick.
Yeah.
Not The Rock, but the Nick.
Yeah. Or Thor.
Or Thor.
Not that Thor.
I'll be Fat Thor. Then yeah, you would be driven in that direction completely. But we're divided, because we got work and we got home and we got we squeeze in a little personal time.
Yeah,
we got friends, we got family, we got all that stuff that we.
This makes me feel like I'm. After a while, I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Have a couple of beers, and then the age starts to come off of you.
That's why you think when you're at a bar and you're drunk, you're much more sexier than you're really not.
Yeah, that's where the goggles come in.
Yeah, and same with the girls, too. That's how you go home and think, wow, she is hot. You wake up the next day like, ooh!
Coyote.
Yeah, it's not a good scene.
So we touched on, you weren't here last week because you were celebrating something.
Yeah, my wife got a new job.
It's amazing.
It's awesome. I'm so proud of her. She's not a type of person to take like these big risks, and it seems like it's going to pay off. But getting there this past weekend was quite a challenge.
Yeah. You were mentioned, and I don't know how much you want to talk about this. I was kind of hush hush about it when we talked about you not being on the show last week because you were celebrating the new gig. But I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know who knew and what was there. So I figured I'd just leave that up to you. But that's awesome, man. Nobody
knew. She put her 2 weeks in. I hope you don't mind me talking about
this.
No,
go for it, man.
It's just a personal issue that happened with us. And it was just, I think the way it went down was totally unnecessary. See, my wife is a hairdresser, and she put her 2 weeks in at the salon, which her mother happens to work at.
Legit talented AF hairdresser.
Right. She's fantastic. I mean, so she does great stuff. So she was at the salon for a really long time. Her mother works there too. And she just got tired of them. She mentioned a lot of different times that she wanted to expand her book. She needed more help. They wouldn't give it to her. So
she wasn't growing there.
She wasn't growing. So she decided to go look around, and she found a salon that's great.
Yeah.
So she put her 2 weeks in this Friday. They cried with one of the owners, said, "Oh, you're always welcome, part of the family. Doors are always going to be open." The next, not even 24 hours later, they locked the doors and locked her out of the system.
Jesus Christ.
And then 36 hours later, they told her why, because she had to call, and they finally called her back. They told her why, because they just don't want her taking any of her clients and stuff like that. It's like very
so 10 years of working together to the point to where the place feels...
The door's always open.
Place feels like family.
But it's closed the next day.
And then family as if it was your drug addict uncle who might steal your stereo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then to boot, 36 hours later, too, the same thing, 10 minutes after that happened, they canned her mother as like a payback or as a spite, maybe. And what I mentioned before, man, that's the shittiest part. Like,
I don't know. Money makes people very. It can bring out true colors. It can make people very weird. It can make people very desperate. And from everything that I've heard, and I've known you guys for quite a while now, and I've actually received. I went and got haircuts at this place. Shannon just is the real deal. Genuine, sweet, kind, professional, and talented on top of everything else. And to be treated like a criminal, like I can't trust you to come in. I can't trust you to do the right thing. I can't trust you to be you.
I can't trust you to come in and get your leftover supplies that left there. You had to ship them, FedEx them overnight because you didn't want to confront them.
Yeah, see, that's just despicable behavior, man. And that's what I mean. It's like you can bring out the true colors in people. And
they changed the fucking locks. That's not cheap to do on the front door and the back door of a business.
That's
quick. That's a couple $100 within less than 24 hours. I mean, it was just so unprofessionally done. They could have done such a better job and said, Shan, you know what? Instead of changing the locks, they could have just texted her. I mean, even texted her, probably better to do in person, but text her and say, hey, after thinking about it, why don't you just not work here anymore? You know what I mean? Why does she have to find out on her own?
Well, here's the thing. She's gonna have full control, not full control, but people are going to go to her because of who she is. If they're not at that salon, it's going to be at this other salon. And no matter what anybody says, that's just going to happen naturally.
Yeah.
And rather than come to grips with that as an owner of a business and say, it's going to happen anyway, I might as well call those customers gone and figure out how to get somebody else in here and build up where the gap is, right? That's the professional way to do it. The unprofessional way to do it is to do what they did, which was, lock the door, shut her out, blow her off, and sort of scrape her off their heel like she wasn't worth anything. If you build a relationship with Shannon and say, listen, we loved having you. We're sorry, but we understand. And the door is always open legitimately. Then if it doesn't work out at the other salon, she might have picked up 20 customers over there, and then she might be able to come back and help your business even more so. I'm not saying that Shannon would ever do that.
I'm biased.
But I'm just saying it's bad business.
It's totally bad business, but I'm biased, but when it comes to this, I think they took advantage of my wife for a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm biased. It's my wife.
Sure.
I'm going to look at it like this. You just said she's super talented. I think she's the most talented stylist was in that place.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple older stylists. They probably at one time were really good, but well outdated.
Yep.
They don't take the time to keep up with stuff. The two owners and another stylist. And the two young ones just didn't care enough to really hone their craft.
Yeah.
So she obviously was the most talented in that place. Most friendly, compassionate, and people liked that about her.
Sure.
So they were taking advantage of her for a long time, not giving her what she wanted, blowing her off.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm just biased. So her being like that is just where leading to this salon. I think when she put her 2 weeks in, they were absolutely terrified about losing her.
Yeah.
And shocked that they're going to lose her. But it's really their own fault because it's like anything else in any sport, movies. If you have the talent, you need the talent. Pay the fucking talent and appreciate the talent.
Of course.
And they just took advantage of her for years because they just assumed because she grew there that she was loyal. That's not actually. I don't mean it loyalty in a bad way. They took it as she's loyal in the sense of she'll never leave us no matter what we do, kind of thing.
Oof.
That's how they were. Because
I
mean. They didn't think of no matter what we do, but they're penny pushers in the sense of they didn't want to spend the money. You know what I mean? Certain things they should have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it means that they weren't, running businesses is hard, right? Bottom line, shitty way to end a relationship.
It was horrible, and my wife was devastated in the sense of she thought she had quality relationships with these women.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, money changes people. True colors either come out or they can't handle it, but at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do, and they got to do what they got to do. And if somebody chooses to be a low character person, then
that's on them, man.
My wife handled it appropriately. She gave it 2 weeks. She really meant it. Mm-hmm. They just lost 2 weeks of pay from her.
Yeah.
That she brought into the salon and a great friend. So she's like, fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Speaking of companies kind of screwing their customers and clientele, and this is a terrible segue.
You're trying.
I'm trying.
You're digging there.
Yeah, it's just not going to be easy. It's not going to be smooth. Anyway, I don't want to dismiss it, but finally, she's at a very cool place. She started this week, and
Nicholas Sebastian's. Yep.
And
in Newtown Square. If anybody ever wants to go there, ask for Shannon Villahus.
1,000%.
And
she's happy.
I'll plug her. I'll plug them too.
I think
to our 12 viewers. And they all probably go to Shannon anyway.
Yo, you keep plugging your wife.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll keep at that. Where we're going with this?
We're kind of going to put a bow on that one, and of course, I wish Shannon all the best of luck. Not that she'll need it, but she's going to kick ass, no doubt. In the news, Disneyland reportedly cuts employees' hours over the over Galaxy's Edge.
I don't know if I want to talk about this. I really don't know, because you know how fired up I get when we talk about anything Disney/Star Wars in the same sentence. I just don't know if I can handle this, John. I need Jamie here to talk me off the edge. I do.
Let's look at it this way. Tickets could run a family of 4 or 5 in your case. $600, something like that.
Now, is that pocket? Oh no, it's $100 a person, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, they are raping people.
Yeah.
God, he's Bob Iger. I love him because of what he did for Marvel, but God, is he a fucking he's so. I don't want to say the word because
he's making money, man. That's his job. Get that stock up.
The disparity between the CEO of Disney, which is Bob Iger, and the regular employees is the worst in the world.
Yeah, well, he's an acquisitions guy, man, obviously. So basic adult tickets prices start at $129, and children's tickets, aged 3 to 9, begin at $122. So they give you
a $7 bite. Oh my God! Thank you, Bob.
And they vary depending on the day.
Oh, motherfucker! Because he's like trying to rape people because he knows how big of fucking fans we are at Star Wars. Should I just bend over and then you can stick that fucking?
Think about that. Family of 4, $600.
It's just ridiculous.
You're in. That's just to get in the door.
And that's not even counting the merchandise that we know is fucking ridiculous. The $200 lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be the asshole to buy one. Of
course.
And I'll tell my kids they go fuck themselves because I don't have the money.
Hopefully, you're going to have similar outfits for the twins, and you just kind of hope that people don't pick up on it, and you bring one in, then go back out and sort of smuggle the next one in.
I would love to say that, but they're not identical, and you fucking know that.
I know.
$200 for a lightsaber. Now, I somewhat get it. I wouldn't even mind it so much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But why $600 for a family of 4? That's just robbery, man. You're just robbing people.
It is, well, and that's why people are getting really, really pissed. So say it costs you.
So instead of actually trying to cut prices, he's just going to cut people.
Well, yeah.
God forbid we eat into the CEO's salary of like 90 billion a year.
You silly
90 million a year. I'm sorry.
You silly goose.
So we'll just cut somebody that lives paycheck to paycheck that really needs the fucking money, all because you want to overprice.
And they were probably underpaid.
Oh fuck right,
paid them in Disney dollars.
It's like monopoly money.
They do that. They pay people not solely in Disney dollars, but they pay a certain wage to the employees that work at Disney, and then, which is usually probably around minimum wages.
Well, I'm sorry. Is it Orlando, Florida? We're talking about
Orlando, yeah.
Yeah. So the whole city's built around Disney.
Of course, but
there's like 20 things to do that are Disney.
Yeah, totally. And then it's not Disney; it's Universal.
I know they want you to spend it their shit.
Yeah, but they'll have places that you can go to that I think are Disney owned, where you can buy regular stuff for you because you maybe live in Disney housing, you work at the Disney theme park, and you get paid by Disney, and then they offer you cheaper prices for buying stuff that's within Disney's corporation.
No, I'm sure you get a
right.
discount.
So you want to go grocery shopping or something like that. Oh, because you're a Disney employee, they'll give you a particular benefit. Like it might be 30% off what store bought.
Yeah, say Wegmans is down there. Like, they have association with Wegmans. It'd be 30% off there. I got you.
But it keeps you poor. Is
of course
what it is.
It does. Bob's taking the money.
Yes, exactly my point.
Sucking that shit in.
It's like they're not going to pay you a normal wage.
Yeah, Bob needs to buy fucking California. That's what he needs. I need my next state. I'm not going to win the election. I'm going to buy the election.
Yeah, Florida. We're going to change that name.
Yeah, right.
Now called Iger. So anyway, the news article that I was just referencing. The attendance is down at the Galaxy Edge.
With the expected attendance.
Yeah, and they thought it was going to be all blown up. But the problem is, and you and I talked about this earlier, is that it's basically just a glorified Disney store right now with one ride.
With one ride.
Yeah,
and you can get a lightsaber.
And you can get a very expensive lightsaber.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Yeah. If I'm paying $200, I want it to actually cut through metal.
It better do something.
Yeah, I want it to be like a real, legit lightsaber.
I saw it here. Yeah, that's more like $200 million if it was possible. But you have to admit about the lightsaber, though, it is the coolest weapon.
It's the coolest. It's
the
coolest weapon ever. It's not the most practical.
No, fuck no.
I would be lopping off toes, lopping off fingers.
Oh, dude.
I would be
lopping off your head.
That's right. I'd look in the hole, wonder why the light didn't come out right away. It put a big divot in my through my skull.
Dude. Stop. That's hilarious.
I'd be a mess.
Oh, how about that? I don't mean to segue into this, but the boys when he burned her head out.
Oh, the boys!
I was like, holy fuck!
Yes.
So at the end of that, I'm like,
yeah. So
Superman don't do that.
No.
He's all about the beams too.
Brightburn did it.
He's lazy. No, when he was going after those terrorists in that building, he's just like, bzz, bzz, bzz. And the guy's running.
Yo, did you see those laser beams? That motherfucker's lazy.
He's fucking lazy, dude. But no, seriously, the one guy's running away. He's like, he can easily go over and get it. He's like, bzz.
And it legit cuts him in half too.
Oh, dude. They didn't hold back on that. That's part of the reason why I loved it.
So you're talking about
the boys.
The boys. We mentioned it a couple episodes ago.
I didn't finish it, so
you didn't finish it. What'd you think of the episode or the series? Now that you have some content,
I thought it was 8.5. It was really good. It wasn't mind blowing, what Stranger Things or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was good.
I thought it had some pacing issues, but for the most part, it was a lot of fun.
Boy, I had a good concept.
Yeah. It's all the concept, all about the concept.
Negative parts about being a superhero and the collateral damage they incur.
Yeah.
Incur, whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
Well, dude, it's the same thing. It's to me, and I don't know, I wasn't there at its inception, but to me, it seems like when Hollywood gets away with murder, sometimes literally.
Okay.
Like, so it's this allegory or metaphor or whatever you want to call it. You get somebody that's famous enough, they could kill somebody and get away with it.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, and you get someone that's famous enough, the world adores them. But they might be but they might be real villains behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And seemingly indestructible, right? So I love thinking of it that way. And you got these people, and then also thinking about it in a way where it's like, what would you do? You're not a Superman as far as your moral compass is concerned. I mean, you and I aren't. We've done things in our past that weren't villainous straight up, but maybe not the best in judgment.
No.
You know? Now think if you were indestructible and nobody on the planet could tell you was shit.
And that's the thing about it is I was watching it and I'm like, everybody is terrified of Homelander.
Oh, yeah.
At least Superman, there was a kryptonite. This motherfucker, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
So they're like manipulating the shit out of him because they're like they just don't want him to take over the world. When he realizes he can do it, he's going to do it.
Dude, he was faster than an explosion.
Yeah, I know. I have to say the episode where he walked off that plane. He's like, I can't help these fucking people. They're like, no big deal. They're like, fuck it.
It's like, what's going to happen if we have survivors? They're going to say what really went on.
I know.
No, that's not the right answer. You need to say something else.
And then she's terrified of him, so she won't go against him.
Yeah.
Like, she's super strong, but she's not
they kill
him.
her. Yeah.
And then when you see the episode where they were when he was a little boy and he's like in the cell kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's like fucked up, man.
He was raised like a lab rat.
Oh yeah,
no morality, no like.
Well, they
real
even
love.
You know what they hinted towards season 2 was because I don't want to get too much into this because I know we already talked about it, but remember when he went to see the main guy that created him?
Yeah, he killed him.
Oh, but he did kill him. We didn't see that scene. But the scene before that, when you actually saw him talking face to face, he's like, I did you wrong. I should have had you with a proper family so you could be loved.
Yeah.
Right?
That guy was from Gotham.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they did for his son is, because he has all the same abilities as he does, he gave him a loving home and tried to hide him from Homelander. So somebody could go up against Homelander.
Oh, you think the old man gave him the loving home?
Yeah, gave him with his mother. That's why nobody knew where he was.
But didn't Homelander know where she was?
No.
How did he get there?
Oh, he went back and killed the old man. And the old man finally squealed.
Okay.
But the first time they met the old man, when Homelander met the old man, they talked about the past. And he said, my one biggest regret was I didn't give you a loving home. And like, because he's like,
yeah, because
he doesn't even care if Homelander kills him at this point because he's pretty much telling
he's
Homelander
a sociopath.
Yeah, he's fucking nuts, and he's like, you can't hurt him, and he has super strength, super speed. He's Superman.
Yeah,
without kryptonite.
Yeah, you probably can't even stick an explosive up his ass.
The only thing he cares about is his public image. That's what they trained him to care about.
Well, and you used to think he cared about Elizabeth Shue's character.
Back to why we got on this. He burned this shit out of her eye sockets. You just was like,
yeah, you know they did that to that was out of Brightburn too.
You mentioned that earlier.
Oof, another good one.
I love the bad Superman thing.
That's a great idea. It's a great.
We got to spend an episode talking about Krypton.
Okay.
Because I'm digging it lately.
You're caught up?
I'm caught up, man.
Well, that's good. I'm not caught up. I got to catch up. I got a bunch of them on DVR.
I didn't think they could pull this season off. You're doing it.
Shit.
They are doing it. I'm enjoying it. I actually am enjoying it so much, I can't wait for it to come every week.
No kid.
Yeah.
No, I got to dive in then.
I don't
have anything else to watch. I might as well watch it.
And you got a bunch of them on DVR. Watch them.
Yeah, I will. I watched 2 episodes so far.
It's really gets into it. He gets off the planet with
out of the Phantom Zone.
Well, he's already out of the Phantom Zone if you watch the second episode.
I was a little confused whether the forest was the Phantom Zone.
It's not the Phantom Zone. They got out because Adam went in. Adam went in.
Adam Strange.
Yeah. What the fuck? I don't even know what his purpose is. It's like stupid.
But not keeping you from from watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they start limiting his role later. And you don't really hear from him too much.
Maybe someone's listening to the show.
But you find out who Korvax's name turns to be.
Oh, no shit.
That gets interesting. He gets back to...
What's all the Lobo shit?
They're adding another Superman character into it.
Has he shown up yet?
Yeah, Lobo shows up in the second episode.
I didn't get through the whole thing.
Dude, start watching it. They turned out pretty good.
All right. I'll definitely watch it. One more thing in the news. Andrew Lincoln was spotted on the set of The Walking Dead.
He's coming back, dude. They already sent that movie trailer. He was only going to do like a movie or two. But I think I already knew this was going to happen. As soon as The Walking Dead took a major hit, they're going to go to Andrew Lincoln and say, you didn't want 20. Well, how about 40?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I know you live in London, but, we'll give you a private jet. You can fly over every night. I mean, save the fucking show.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Most of these, and I know this isn't news, but I'll just bring it up anyway. Eventually, these shows stop making money off of significant. It becomes disproportionate as far as the income they get from ad dollars, right? So you can get advertising through commercials and everything. That's why they're on network television, a network television station. But then they'll start to make money off of merchandising and licensing.
Absolutely.
That's when the cash cow comes in.
That's where Star Wars came from.
1,000%.
Yeah. But back to what you were talking about, seeing them on set, I just realized in talking with you, they had a time jump in the last season, right? About like 5 or 6 years,
yeah,
maybe more. And they're set to have a couple movies made with him about where he went in the helicopter. Well, he could still come into this season of The Walking Dead because he got 5 fucking years to make movies about a separate place he was at the whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they have that time jump.
Yeah.
So it could always be like a flashback kind of thing to what he was doing then.
What if he comes back with Captain America's shield?
Dude, it'd be awesome. Sold! Killing zombies with the American shield, dude.
All right. Speaking of which, last but not least, I don't know if you and I talked about this. I know Jamie and I talked about it in last week's episode. You digging your Avengers Endgame? Would you get through iTunes?
No, I bought it through Comcast.
Did you?
So fucking lazy.
But, dude, I bought it as soon as it came out. I've watched it 3 times so far. 4?
Oh,
4 for you?
Well, I watched 2 the first day. Then I woke up the next morning and Shannon got up with the kids early. She was watching it, so I'm fucking,
Nice.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So, and then I watched it with Aiden the other day. Aiden had it on. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll watch it. But I have been waiting if I ever get 6 hours to myself. I do want to watch Infinity War with that back to back.
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, that's 6 hours, though. So I don't really, my life, I'm lucky if I get 20 minutes.
It's true. I have both of them on Apple TV.
I have both of them on
Comcast.
Yeah. Although in 4 months we'll be paying $7 a month for it all the time.
Why is that?
They'll be all on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Or if you want to get Hulu and all that, they're going to offer a $13.99 subscription.
Dude, yeah. Dude, you know what? Speaking of Hulu, and I was like in this little bit of a gap of like, what do I want to watch? What do I want to watch?
So you checked out Hulu, huh?
I checked out Hulu.
Hulu?
No, not Hulu. It was, I'm sorry, Amazon Prime Video.
I like Amazon Prime. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I checked it out just to find something to watch. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch something I haven't watched in a long time. And I found episodes of Taxi. They have Taxi on Amazon. That show is fucking awesome, man.
I never watched it.
Give it a go. Check it out. See what you think. It's still very late 70s, early 80s sitcom.
Yeah, I remember at the time. I was a MASH guy.
Dude, it's pretty.
They have a lot of great.
There's to put it this way. There's one episode where Jim Ignatowski, who is Professor Brown from Back to the Future, Christopher Lloyd, right?
He plays the idiot on the show, doesn't he?
He's a drug addict, basically, and he gets brownies that have either pot or Coke in them. I almost want to say there's Coke in them. But this is on network television, dude.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah. And they're having...
Back in the day when that's odd, you wouldn't think that would be on that.
But they're talking about it like you forget where we were and what was passable by what seemed like a pretty conservative era. You know what I mean? Not conservative like the 50s, but more conservative than we are now. But in TV... now, we're actually more conservative.
Oh, yeah, totally. Because, I mean, you look back on the Family back in the day.
Yes, exactly.
But you ever notice that sitcoms especially are always... the ones that succeed are always about the times they live in. Like, you look at All in the Family, racial prejudice.
Yeah.
And then you can jump ahead to Cheers. People love Cheers, too. It's all about sitting around a bar having beer.
Yeah.
You know, in my early 20s, that was the shit. That's what I wanted.
You were Norm.
Fucking right, man. Probably more people thought I was Cliff. But anyway, I like that. Then you had Friends. Well, not in the 90s. Yeah, I forget what was in the 90s.
That was Friends? 90s?
90s. Friends was part of the time. People were like very preppish, you know.
Yeah.
New York style life was the place. It got us through 9/11. Mm-hmm. And then you go into the last 12 years here. It's probably, well, there was a time for, 12 years. It's probably Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Geeks rule the world, you know what I mean? Geeks and the hot girl, you know, they never got them before. So
yeah. Just at the same time that the Silicon Valley is it's always been a big deal, but it's like people are making movies about it.
Yeah, it's like the Bill Gateses of the world. I mean, the guy 200 years ago probably would have been a slave somewhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Said he
probably wouldn't have survived.
Right. And now he's one of the richest guys. Same with Zuckerberg, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, that motherfucker would have been 50 years ago. He would have been nothing. He just came up at the right time and created and something that he created.
Yeah, he's driven, had some hustle for sure.
He has hustle, absolutely. He got lucky though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, luck's a tricky thing. Yes, right time, right place, right idea, all that stuff is right time and place is luck. Right idea is smarts.
No, I'm not saying he's not a smart guy. He's obviously a very intelligent guy, but whatever. My point being, it's always been about the times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These sitcoms kind of like, there's a feel for him during the times, and it's like I'm talking about the number one sitcoms that really they're the ones that really resonate with the fan base. MASH to a degree was
was supposed to be about Vietnam,
but they couldn't do it because the war was going on. Yeah. I remember the original movie, still a great fucking movie. I like that movie. It's just these things that resonate. Comedic style movies and comedies.
Do you think they age out because of that? You
ever watch MASH? I still think MASH holds up.
No, but I mean, you were saying now it's the sign of the times, the ones that really, really kind of hold on, and of course that all has to be.
I don't think it's holding on.
Well, right?
I don't think it's holding on. I think it's if you go back and think,
like, could Friends survive in the early 2000s? It probably did.
It did. I think Friends is probably the only one that we just named that would survive today.
Yeah. Friends, well, it's funny because Friends, if you think about it, all the modern technologies weren't part of that era.
They didn't have cell phones and all, but if you watch it, and I still watch it every once in a while, it holds up better than any of them.
Yeah, it went into 2004.
Yeah, it holds up better than any of them. If you watch a Friends episode, You could probably watch a Friends episode right now and be like,
Oh, I have.
it's like, whatever, this is still cool. I can't watch a MASH. I don't watch Cheers. Seinfeld's, I'm a
Cheers
fan.
is pretty good.
I'm a fan of Seinfeld, but it doesn't hold up.
I'd have to watch. I haven't seen a Seinfeld episode in ages.
It doesn't hold up like, you know.
Yeah.
And I was never a huge Friends person. I liked it, but I wasn't like, oh, I have to watch Friends every week. But it's the only one I could still watch, like, and relate to.
Yeah. Friends holds up. It's solid show for sure.
Right.
And
I don't even think Big Bang will hold up. I think in 10 years, people will be like, oh, that one time was a great show. Now it's kind of like weird.
Well, Friends is finding a whole new generation of
Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm talking about kids that are
still each. I think somebody
teenagers in early 20s.
Yeah,
that's a new demo.
Yeah,
who've grown up with cell phones, laptops, personal computers, none of which is showcased in any of those shows, and maybe towards the end.
Do you know none of those fuckers after the series ended ever had to work again anyway?
No,
they were getting residual. What do you call when it
residual?
Is it residuals? They were all scheduled to make like $50 million a year. For like the next 10 years. And now that Netflix came into play and bought the rights to Friends,
they get a piece of that action?
They got a piece of that action.
Shit.
They get a piece anytime it airs. It's like somebody told me they were on the news or something like that, or Preston Steve, about how, I forget who it was, how they made, it's Macaulay Culkin. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
He still gets residual. Anytime they play
Home Alone movies.
He gets fucking a check in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard him being interviewed on, I forget whose show it was. It might have been...
I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
But he was like really grounded, but he was also just, that was part of his cash flow.
Yeah, and he's fine with it. He lives his life on that.
Yeah. Isn't buying Aston Martins or anything, but...
No.
But doesn't have to work.
No, he doesn't have to work for the rest of his life. Yeah. He's still bringing in triple R salary every year.
Yeah, enough to live in Southern California and not have to work.
Right. So, I mean... And that's his life, man.
Yeah.
You know, he was a cute kid, ugly adult, and he knows it.
Yeah. Well, how about talk about cute kid and, how about seeing, what's his name in The Boys, the mind reader who was Haley Joel Osment from Sixth Sense, I See Dead People? The short, fat guy.
That was him?
That was him.
No shit.
Yeah.
I was trying to place him the whole time.
It's been a long time since The Sixth Sense.
He fucked everything up.
He did. What an asshole.
And then you get fucking paid. He's a dumbass. You're going to trust Homelander, you fucking ass. I knew from the first episode not to trust Homelander, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah. So, anything else, Nicholas?
No.
Well, then,
I'm good this week.
Well, it was good, and we didn't really get into a whole lot of movie stuff. It was good just talking about shooting the shit.
I like that sometimes. I mean, our basis is still the geek, the movies, and all that. But I think sometimes being real with what's going on in our lives and what we see is good to get in.
Yeah,
to get that out there.
Yeah, because it's the world is a big place, but it gets smaller and smaller with every little way that we can connect with one another. So, if someone's interested in what we're going through, maybe they're going through it too. The other thing is, you just mentioned we could talk and just bring some real stuff to the table. The last week episode was called Real Talk with Jamie.
Yeah. You did like the first 10 minutes.
Maybe we do that a couple times, a month or something like that. Just bring in some of that real talk. And
I don't mind it at all, because you know what? We are more than just geek shit.
True.
I know outside that one Philadelphia Eagles episode when they won the Super Bowl, we've always talked about everything geek. But there are other things that going on in our minds that, kind of fire us up. And, I think it's good to let our viewers see that part of us. Yeah.
It's a good thing. All right, Nicholas, let's wrap this big, bad burrito up.
Good guy, I got to piss.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. Please be sure to subscribe to our show. Whether you're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or even YouTube, just subscribe. Give us a little subscription. You don't even have to listen to us. Just give me those numbers. I want them. And if you're so inclined, leave us a 5-star or some a good review. If you want to follow us on the social medias, we're on at NJJ Show on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook. We'll post the episodes up there from time to time, actually weekly. Just search the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. Thank you, everybody, and have a fantabulous week.